Erangel, match 30. Let's do this. Last game of the day. I'm gonna make it work. Hi, I'm Cameron. I'm with Hypoc. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. There. I got a little confused and kerfuffled. I was hoping you'd pick up where I left off, but
nope, completely lost.
Okay, cool. Erangel.
Yeah, you're right. This is Erangel. Yeah.
It is. We're on Erangel. The team's on Erangel.
The plane's gone. People are jumping out. Again, no real upsets. Again, I don't know. It's called. The tempo are going to be stretching over anyway. They're going to be pretty much clear.
Future teams. Riot Squad here, dead center of the map, once again, trying to contest SSG in the center. The plane is just too far away from Primorse for them to make that spot work.
Pulling back off Ruins this game, and decided to drop north side of the river. So that's a little bit of a switch up. Obviously, we talked about that in the first game of the day where Valiate dropped over to Ruins.
Here's my question. Does Valiate, like, smell? Is it not that he wants to leave the rest of his squad, but the squad is like, no, please go all the way over there? Because it literally is, like, this 2 north magnets. He cannot get any closer than where he is.
Either they're allergic to him or he's allergic to them.
Yeah.
There's something going on.
There's something weird, but
that's what you love to see if you Valiate.
Exactly, and this is why splits can be so powerful, even if they're solo or duo. In this circle, the river is dead in play, and if SSG maintain a duo on both sides of it, that could be crucial.
The big problem is actually Tony V taking Valiate's usual compound over to the east side of Roz, because that's one where and this is something that we used to do when I was back on the team, we would control both of these bridges here. So it's going to be interesting to see if, you know, they make a huge switch up to their game plan here, but I don't know how Tiggleton's down to 60 HP.
I think Luke shot him. Yeah, we saw Luke looking down that angle already.
Great hat. Great hat.
Oh, yeah, so good. So fancy. It's nice. He finds a gun. Okay, we're good. Wait. Yeah, it's M16. Hardly counts, but it's something. And a helmet. So anyway, Lazarus in Yasnaya. They had Luke down there on, I guess car park is what you call it. There was some compound.
This is an interesting stat for you. We talked about this earlier with how Tiggleton is still maintaining this damage output.
Yeah.
He's actually only like, I'm pretty sure it's like 1,600 damage off of having more damage than Vanquish as a team. Which is actually pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, actually. It's close. It's tight. I think he's almost hit the double digits because of his own.
Considering they didn't have a good last game, I'm not sure where he finished at, but I know he was at like 9,600 before the Miramar game. So obviously Vanquish now at 11,658. So I just thought that was an interesting stat there. And obviously it's impressive that, you know, with Sonic's kind of dropping off a bit in last week and again this week, it's actually pretty incredible that Tiggleton's still maintaining that damage output.
Yeah, I'm shocked that that's the case. That the only reason I can see for that is that everyone else on Sonics kind of have been dropping the ball the past couple of weeks. That's a story that we haven't really talked about because it's not as drastic as Genesis and Ghost. But yeah, Sonics came up swinging on week number 1, and they've been slowly fading away.
I mean, the weird thing has been, and you talk about last week where they came out on top of Genesis a couple of times, but in the games where they didn't clash with Genesis, they were going out early with literally no kills. So it's kind of like there's no middle ground, I find, for Sonics. They're not a team like Lazarus where you see them, you know, if they're going to go out in the mid game, they've got a decent kill stack. I haven't seen them kind of commit to, you know, that salvage play that says, you know, we're going to die here, circles miles away, we haven't got vehicles, let's take a team fight, we'll pick up 2, maybe 3 kills. That's something I want to see them switch up a bit more, as opposed to, you know, making a YOLO play for a compound, which we've seen them try and send it a couple of times. We saw that Miramar game where I honestly don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, that was...
It's plays like that that's like, look, we've lost 2 people already, let's go somewhere else. Let's try and go somewhere else. Instead, Tiggleton tries a 500-meter drive-by nade that ends up killing himself.
It's plays like that I understand can work in a contender's lobby. But
that's it. That's the sort of thing. Literally, last contenders phase was literally like a Sonic's highlight reel.
Yeah.
Tiggleton just drive-bying people for the hell of it. And again, in this lobby, if you lose 2 people, your best bet, or you know the play that's going to yield the better result over time is making a salvage play, sending it somewhere, getting a shack, you know, making that conservative play.
Yeah, I mean, a team that's been really good at salvage plays, in my perspective, is E United, who we just saw rotating into a central compound, employing their own little split around the roads towards the southeast. A good grab before Rumblers, Ghost, and even, in a way, Zenith make their way in that direction. But
somebody has regrouped with Valier.
What?
Somebody has regrouped with Valier.
Valier has a teammate. Oh my God. This is a rare sight to see, ladies and gentlemen. It's a necessary thing to happen.
I mean, the problem being is actually SSG are still super split. They have Valier and Baja down in Rozhok. Jaesang and Hetsor now on the north side of the river.
Why did Valier go down to Rozhok?
I don't know. Maybe a loot situation.
Probably
I'm not entirely sure, but we do see Wildcard coming up to try and take the 3-story compound. So I want to see Hetsor. No, he's out of his vehicle.
Oh, he's out of his vehicle. Okay, Jaesang is there on the high ground as well. They may want to punish this. I'm actually a fan of that hill that Hetsor is on. But they need to make this work. They can't stay here for too long because at some point the circle is going to get smaller enough that the third-party engagement is going to happen. So they need to make this work. They have about maybe 30 seconds, I feel, before they need to make a decision. And actually look at Endemic.
Wrapping to the south, yeah.
Exactly. That could be a big problem. Of course, they have their own crossfire with the rest of SSG, so this could be another pickup of points for them. Shots come out. No, Val gets taken out by the vehicle. That is not good. You can hear Endemic already yelling that they got Valiate in the crowd, in the audience, and Reload finishes him off. That is... You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
I don't even know what to say to that. He was obviously... That's almost a bait from Hetero and Jaesang. It's like, they're coming across the bridge. Go and set up. He goes and sets up, and he just gets absolutely destroyed. I shouldn't laugh. That's like one of the worst ways to die.
To be fair, if they did say, hey, set up for the bridge camp, that doesn't mean go out in the open where you can get run over. Like, come on.
I know the terrain there. There's a dip next to that hard spawn that's next to the bridge, and that's what Valiant was going for. But again, this is just to pick up on this split early from SSG being punished by Wildcard coming in as 4. Adam jumping out with the M24, scoping that compound, identifying that, look, I can only see one person. I've been looking at it for 30 seconds. Let's crash it as 4. Hetero has to pull back. Jaesang can't do anything about it.
Lazarus, they're trading some shots with Vanquish, but you can see the Rumblers scoping in onto their position.
Actually, if Finna has shot here, Rumblers should identify that this is a big split.
Okay.
Yeah, Finna is shooting right now. So Waldo and I think it's Microfire are going to be able to push up, and Finna, you can see he's oblivious.
Oh, but Fozu's coming in as well. But this could be bait. No. Fozu could be taken out. It could be driving straight into danger. He does pull away.
I think Fozu spotted him. So now Finna's going to try and run away to the east. Sorry, the west, sorry.
He's already making a break for it, breaking that line of sight, and actually leaving his vehicle behind, going to be picked up by Fozu while they drive off on the motorcycle. So definitely a good call to make just in the nick of time before it all crumbled to pieces for Vanquish.
And that's the sort of thing that we've seen Vanquish get picked apart on. They're widely split, somebody just taking shots at somebody. I mean, Lazarus weren't pressuring Vanquish's rotation there, so there's almost no value in committing that hard to kind of just not even looking at your surroundings.
Look how few teams are on the north side of this river. It's only cutting off the top 30%, but...
Everybody committing to south side.
Yes, everyone is committing there, and...
I mean, look how much base Tempo has. It's
a lot. It's a lot, but United here, they're actually trying to get even closer towards center. The first circle hasn't even closed, and they're trying to get to center just because if it does shift up north, everyone wants to be as close as possible to race for that transition, because if you're late to it, it's going to be a rough one. Stab here looking around, perhaps trying to make a call out on another location, but they're going to get shot at by Lazarus, finding out some information on some opposition in the area around them. Nice little hilltop command by Lazarus, but shots from Stab.
I don't know if I've actually had the chance to say this. That's nip dip.
Nip dip.
Nip dip.
Okay, I like it. All right. Tempo Storm, get their vehicles.
Loving that one. Not so great for Tempo. So we're probably going to expect Tempo to try and wrap to the south there. I'm not sure which path they're going to take, because as you can see on the map right now, we've got Zenith transitioning past Pachinki. We've got P1E coming out. Genesis is still to the south, the north side. Loki down on the south side. Envy down on the south side. But I mean, look at this congestion in the middle of the map. We've got. Actually, it looks like Riot Squad are actually crashing into Sonics on apps.
Crashing into apps on this, but look at the split by E United as well as Ghost. They're not grouping up like I expected them to on a shift like this. They want to set up this crossfire and try to punish rotations as much as they can. Lazarus here, though, pushing up as 4 and back onto Riot Squad, pushing into apartments as a full pack of 4.
Get out, Wooly, please.
Looks like Sonics are aware of this. They hear the footsteps. Willie
This
and
is the thing,
Keenan.
Riot Squad fully committing as a team. Like, look at them. They're moving as a unit. Right now, Sonics are split. Obviously, they were trying to hold this down. Willie's going to smoke off the stairs, hopefully get up another floor. But you can look at Riot Squad.
They're pushing through like the FBI, trying to push in, trying to flush out the criminals in the apartments. But they're not pushing up that hill. They're not pushing up the staircase. They're not pushing in through the smoke. So it's definitely a good conservative play. And they're actually backing off.
I'm surprised by that. Maybe they think it's more than one, but I'm surprised that nobody from Sonics is actually set up. Obviously, Willie should be calling that. You know, I can hear at least 2 or 3 of them.
Zenith trying to get in position to punish Genesis' rotation. And a lot of teams we see do this. What Genesis are doing right now, a wide rotation around the southwestern side to get in towards the softer side of the circle where it's really empty at the shift.
They're going to run straight into P1E on the south side, on the south road here. We've got Aguila and D-Trees actually trying to transition north. H-Win looking like he wanted to stop with K-Mine there, but they're going to opt to keep on going east.
Don't take the bait. Get into the circle, please. Don't take this fight. It's not important just yet. It's still too early in the game. Got the drive-by coming through, and D-Trees trying to send that shots their way, but not finding any real connections just yet.
Oh, good hit.
Okay, you got crossed in front of you by a teammate. That could have been dangerous, but it's fine. Everything's okay for Genesis and Player One. Genesis finding their way through. Still not in the circle just yet, but they're coming in from Milta Road.
Go, if they try and come up Milta Road, Loki obviously holding down the shelter compound and the flat top, but jump on board with Tempo, opting to rotate in towards Pachinki. So
yeah,
they opted away from coming south. So I'm only guessing they caught eyes of Zenith. I see SSG making a wide wrap all the way to the west. So Hetero and J-Sank in a vehicle out in the blue. Baja on foot south of Ruins. On foot south of Watertown.
I'm looking at Tempo Storm here. Looks like they're trying to go for Potato, but Zenith are going to be there first. And okay, he's not going all the way up to the peak. Zenith are holding that spot, and they're ready for a rush, but Zampa's making the intelligent play, staying by himself for his teammates to back him up. And Riot Squad, they've actually left apartments.
Yeah, they went up to doghouses, so not fancying that fight. It's always difficult to push apps when somebody's occupying the top floor. I guess they thought it was more than one person on Zenith because it was in that one app, but Zampa taking shots now could cause problems for him because Zenith are getting closer and closer. He's going to have the rest of his team come here to back him up, but like I said, this could be an issue. Roth nearly taking Zampa down there. So like I said, a bit overzealous with taking some shots there, Zampa, but luckily he doesn't get punished for it.
I see Bahawaka on foot out in the blue, and the rest of his teammates down in a vehicle towards the southwest side.
That is
curious position, but it's a good central shift for most teams involved, but we are running out of compounds. We are running out of hard cover. There are a lot of dips and stuff to use in this terrain, but Zenith here, they don't want to take this fight. They want to rush to get inside the circle and hold Tempo Storm out, but a fight between Loki and Genesis. Oh! 2 down for Genesis. Lopes finds one of his ex-teammates, to say the least, and the rest of Genesis are going to be pulling up. Lopes is low on HP, and I don't know the crossfire. Oh no, you see other players at the back, and he finds one more! It's only Nerf standing right now.
How many times are we going to see Genesis knock each other? This has got to be like the 4th or 5th time now. And luckily there, it doesn't look like they're going to be punished, but I feel bad for Profit. It's always Profit.
They've already gotten punished, though.
Always. And there you go.
And they are. Microfy had the angle from the north side.
No.
I hate that hill so much because it is so open. And Genesis, they get into a fight on top of it, and they get ruined because of it. Tempo Storm, no, they're pushing through. They're avoiding Zenith, and they rush directly into Riot Squad. Luckily, Riot Squad go loud in time for them to pull away and find some way to salvage this. But Tempo Storm also have to find a spot to center up. Not center up, but I guess just like plant their feet and actually take a fight.
It looks like Sharky and Sharpshot are going to go all the way down to the yellow in the middle of the field. Zampa now on foot. I don't think he's got a vehicle, but it looks like Sharpshot and Sharky are going to get to the yellow. They're going to have a decent opportunity to reset here as we jump on board with the fight with Endemic and looking like Sonic's actually resetting back into the compound, but you can see in the distance, Lazarus will have line of sight on the north side of this compound. So Endemic kind of forced to engage from the south side is a difficult position to be in.
This is a good hold by Lazarus to punish a fight like this, but Endemic, they want to take this fight. A fight elsewhere between Player One and Fignato. Fignato does go down, so it's a little more damage onto low key. But this fight between Endemic and Sonic. Sonic's once again just trying to hold defensively, and the team that comes up against them doesn't find them, isn't really going aggressive into their position. Relo, you can see him peeking around the corner, trying to find an angle, trying to find the very first knock to open this entire thing up. But they don't want to push aggressively until they know for sure that they can win this fight. And it's the pressure from Lazarus that keeps them at bay even just a little bit. You can see Relo peeking around, trying to find information on the third party. Look at that angle by Keenan, making sure that no one pushes in from the south side. Everyone's just holding here, and it's fine. As long as Endemic don't peek out too far, they won't get shot by Lazarus, and they can just cohabitate this position for now.
There's no real pressure from either team, and that's the thing. I like the fact...
I say that.
There's no pressure other than that nade flying through. Crispy are lucky not to go down there, but yeah, Tony getting that nade across from Glasshouse. So I think actually Relo had an angle on him there, so trying to work something onto Endemic, but unfortunately not getting in the open and knock there. Oh.
You saw on the minimap, the circle shifts away, and it's going to be a hard shift up towards the northeast. It goes dead center.
Can I just say, that's the worst back-to-back 2 circles for Baja.
Yeah.
Baja's been on foot since Ruins.
Still in the blue.
Just chasing circles. But again, I'm not sure why J-Sank and Headshot didn't pick him up, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to even rotate into this next circle. I'm
going to assume that they were already ahead of him when he flipped his vehicle. That's about all I got.
Yeah.
That's my only guess.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the med situation can't be great, but jumping back on now, this fight, I mean, this is good for Sonics because obviously it shifted the other direction. Endemic have to push through Sonics, and Sonics have a great setup. Keenan's still in that window, means that nobody can swing around to the south side of this compound.
At the same time, Sonics have to wait for Endemic to push into them before they can move out.
Yeah.
So in a way, they're hoping that Endemic...
They're killing each other.
And they're hoping that Endemic throw everything against the wall and just rush into their position so they can clean it up quickly, but Endemic is not necessarily the team that I expect that from. Ghost, though, this compound, we haven't seen this in play recently on Erangel, but it's a really powerful one.
I was going to say, interesting. We're actually, Baja actually going to pick up a knock onto Patron. Kendo backing away in the vehicle. Headshot did get a headshot onto Kendo as he got into that vehicle, so this now weakening Zenith's rotation. Roth actually getting a knock onto Protege elsewhere on the hill that's north of the new compound, but Kendo looks like he's going to make his way.
Oh, 3 HP, just barely making it out.
But now that SSG have gone loud, though, Zenith have the information. They're going to know that all 3 of SSG are on foot. They have to push towards them now.
You say that in just straight gunfight to gunfight. I put SSG on top of Zenith, but the push comes in from the Sonics. They took out Endemic. They wiped them out, and now they're getting the loot before they push into Lazarus. Hopefully they have vehicles because I can't imagine them pushing that on foot. But Walt Jr. knocks J-Sank, and a trade back and forth between player 1 and Wildcard on the eastern side. Wildcard are going aggressive. Kickstart's driving forward, trying to take out these players from Alamo. Able to do so. Player 1 eliminated in 14th place. And now it's back to SSG versus Zenith. J-Sync went down. J-Sync got finished.
I can't actually believe that you just bet on SSG. That's got to be a first, right?
I bet on SSG all the time, and they constantly... never mind, we can get to this later. Roth tries to take some shots and actually gets knocked by Leda, third-partying this engagement.
That's a big opening now for obviously Headshot to push up onto the compound. He's going to have the information that Zenith are already down 1 member. Roth is knocked. Walt Jr. is inside here. That nade going in could actually do damage. It does actually knock Walt.
It does, absolutely.
Oh,
but the side angle, at least he gets the Molotov in the building first.
But again, they're split, so Baja's not here to capitalize on this kill. But I think Headshot is going to get the bleed out onto one of Zenith. But again, they're not grouped up, so they couldn't close out this team fight.
And that seemed to be very low on meds for Baja as well. Once again, back in the blue. Lazarus back here on top of the hill. They've been sitting pretty. They haven't had to deal with a lot of action just yet, and they're in a very strong spot. They got the meds. They have the utility. They only have 1 kill. Zenith goes down. So they actually, Protege is going to finish off that fight, which may give Bahawaka a little bit of room, but I can imagine he's going to bleed out soon in the blue, and you're going to see him. Yep. Only bandages left. Not much for him to do except deal as much damage as he can before he dies to the zone. Gives a point away. Not exactly the best play, but trying to be a nuisance, that's always the risk.
And actually, yeah, we've got Tempo pushing all the way up onto Riot Squad here. Actually, Riot Squad not set up for this right now. Because of low-key crashing onto the south side of the circle, Riot Squad were actually pushing all the way down to try and secure their hill. You can see Tempo now actually trying to push up. Riot Squad aren't in a position to defend this at all.
Good nade to try and open things up. It's already prime. A little too far, it looks.
Zampa in the opening, knock onto Mystery.
He hits the first one on Mystery.
For Tempo.
This is big, and it looks like they know where Leda is as well because they keep peeking in that direction. Prone in the ground. Mystery's going to nade himself because he had his own primed by the time he got knocked. A nade onto Leda's position as well. Tempo Storm, they're opening this up. But Riot Squad, they're backing off. They don't want to take this fight just yet. They want to try and set up a different angle, but look at Chubba Bubba and Pax from Loki, also right there, ready to pick off as many points as they can in this fight. Sharp shot, Sharky, dealing some more damage to Riot Squad. It's just Leda and VZ left, both proned in the grass. Not a lot for them to do. Not a really defensible position. Hoping that Elky distract Tempo Storm enough.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, unfortunate time in there, but Tempo being allowed to come onto the hill because Riot Squad sprung around. Actually, Vizen getting open and knock onto Zampa. Gonna try and get the flush. Leia gonna knock onto Sharpshot as well. Sharky knocks Vizi. There's only one up. Ah, Sharky.
Oh, I thought Chubba was the one to finish that one, but it is going to be Tempo Storm that crush Riot Squad.
Can they get both reses, though?
Both? Maybe not. The blue is coming in slow because of the angle that they're at. It'll be rough. I think they're going to be able to do it, though, but Chubba Bubba and Pax are wrapping up ahead of them. And so they're going to have to be in yet another fight. But Sonics, they're rushing in once again. They're just sending it into E United. Wooly goes down. And look at the angle from opposing squads as well. Tony V finds one. Keenan Peek in the opposite angle. Can't find a second just yet.
Actually, Lazarus have a great opportunity to peek over and look south onto this, but E United right now. Tony's going to push in. Tony's actually pushing in aggressive here.
I like this, though. Giving it to E United. Oh, he doesn't stop the res. Stab out, revealed himself. That call out wasn't made. Tony V is just being a nuisance for all of them. Peeking inside the building. Oh, no. Gets one, gets a flush. Bill Frost also knocks himself.
Oh, no.
By Taylor J. It's all, I don't know who's coming out on top of this one.
Tiggleton's the last up. He's way off to the east. He's running down to the compound on foot. Sharky's actually taking shots at Tiggleton right now, but Taylor J actually knocking Belfrost with a nade.
Oh, good tag on the stab. But he's out in the open. I really can't imagine he's going to get out of this one. And yes, indeed, Sonics go out in 10th place. They did a lot of damage to E United, but just barely were not able to steal that compound away. The timing in E United's favor, as well as the third party.
They lose two people for it, though. They
Yes.
lose two people for it. In that chaos, in that crash, again, Tony V getting inside, gets the flush onto Balefrost, who got down by Taylor's grenade. So great work from Sonics, but E United being able to reset.
Pentalol. He sees Vanquish in front of him. The last remaining player from Wildcard had to push in from the east side, trying to get as many points as he can. They already have 3, trying to get a 4th, but no, Tetra finds him out. When you miss your first shots, you got to expect that to happen. We're going to see another hardship towards the west side. Ghost.
Look at that
Lazarus.
crate.
Yeah?
Look at that crate.
Yeah.
Next to Alamo and E United, you can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah, I mean, not just that, but also the one towards the south. That one's important for a different reason. That one could be very important cover as we move on later into this game. This is already phase 6. Vegas is down by Ghost. Should easily get the revive onto that. But where do they push to? You can see right ahead of them, there's that little bit of a ridge. But the Rumblers, Envy, well, they're getting into it themselves. Envy,
yeah, Water actually getting a nade inside that shack. Obviously, all 4 of Envy are in there. Pax actually getting a return knock onto Microfy. Lost on another nade will knock Pat. So, yeah, actually, Envy just getting absolutely obliterated in the shack.
That's what happens when you're holding down in a shack. The nades come through, and you're all removed from the server. 5 kills for the Rumblers. Should be able to get the revive onto Microfry. I say that. No, it's committed just yet. McCoy's in a vehicle. Ghosts are on a vehicle. Vanko's trying to punish this. Where do Ghosts drive? They're actually driving directly into everyone else from Vanko's trying to hit them. It's going to be a vehicle knock. Reno's still up, though, but he's going to get dropped. McCoy gets finished out, but it's still 3 standing for Ghost. Rumblers is trying to push into the high ground. It's going to be Lazarus at range, keeping them at bay. And Tetra was the last remaining player from Vanquish, but not able to find anything else. But Ghosts are still not out of it just yet. You can see the shots coming in from Lazarus. Still 4 up. Still the only ones from the northern side have a good high ground position to peek over Ghost, peek over E United. It is only E United's hard cover that gives them an advantage, but they are only down to 2 members.
I mean, great work from Ghost there. Obviously, they didn't really have anywhere to go. They had to send it towards Vanquish. The problem now being Rumblers have to push into the circle, and they're going to have an opportunity to kind of peek high ground onto Ghost dip, but Lazarus pressuring Rumblers away could be the saving grace. As you see, yeah, Halo getting a knock onto Cherry Poppins here. Rumblers need to move. That blue is coming.
They gotta find these openings. If they had more nades, they could find something onto Ghost. But I feel like they used up all of them, taking out Envy. And already a couple of downs. Microfy's finished. Cherry Poppins gonna need to get picked up, but do they even have the time to do so? Smoke's already deployed by both of these squads. Pax going down is good for Rumblers. That means that the third party is gonna be limited, but
nice
Los
spray.
is taken down by a great spray by Shrimzy. Rumblers very, very wounded at this moment, but you can see all the shots sent in towards Ghost. Waldo on a bike. Only option left is to send it. Try and send it somewhere, anywhere. He's able to find his way into the circle. But Lazarus, well, they still have 4 up. They're the only team full force. Where's the shift gonna go? That's the big question right now. Ghost getting the revives. And it's going to go dead center, and United's compound is still in it.
Literally
just barely.
Everything in the middle of the circle is unplayable. This is just one big open dip.
Very rarely do we see games end before Circle 8. This may be one of those.
Look at this, though. Early proactive movements from Lazarus. They're smoking down to the compound. They know E United is only 2, so already getting some smokes down to block off line of sights. They're going to send it in vehicles. I think Luke is actually going to play anchor here, way off on the west side.
Luke's been playing anchor for Lazarus his entire weekend, and they're sending even more nades through. And Halo's actually going to make it all the way up to the wall. That could be huge. Yeah, stab going down as well. It's just Halo J. He underhand nades that. It's not going to find a connection just yet. Halo's able to avoid that, able to push inside, and they suspect that he's in the shack.
Oh my god, that nade. That nade just came out the window.
Oh my god! Taylor J with a good first knock, but it's going to be turned back into Lazarus' favor as he's found out. They go out in 6th place. Should be an easy revive for Uncivil. In the meantime, Ghost, they're trying to move through, and it is 3 solos that are just trying to all group up together, crossfire onto their position.
Oh my god, Chuba actually staring right at the back of water right now. Great awareness from Ghost, though. As Lazarus came to crash onto Alamo, Ghost took that opportunity to move to this rock. So really good awareness from them to know when their window to move was.
Yeah, setting up a little bit of a car fort, but again, they have to worry about the snakes.
They've not got much. They've not got much.
It's just Chuba and Sharky left on the south side. Sharky has no option but to prone here right now, but where does Chuba go? Because he's not in the circle. He's going to have to go in prone on the top of that. At least they're on the high ground, and they can use that to limit vision from Lazarus and Ghost.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. I think Microsoft's probably the only person that will understand this, but Sharky in his most cursed spot of the map right now. So if he can survive through and pick himself up a free 2nd place for this, that's going to be a huge performance for Tempo Storm.
Ghost tried to send Trimsy into a proactive position, but it's going to get found out by Lazarus, so they lose yet one more. Ooh. Nade's going to come through by Chuba, trying to find something on the Ghost. Maybe trying to steal that kill away, but it's not going to find it. And now he's proning behind a tree.
Both solos making it into the circle. That's actually huge.
Lazarus, though, again, finding that crate right next to it, using it for cover, and they have that crate towards the south. Look, Purdy, Curdy, and Luke already sending it closer towards the center, setting up a crossfire. They have the manpower. They know that all other teams in this circle are wounded severely. Civil finishes off Shrimsy. Purdy Curdy's trying to find an angle on the remaining Ghost players, but he's not overextending. They don't want to give themselves... Oh, actually, let's hear it from them.
I'm moving a vehicle right now.
I'm wrapping with you a little, Luke. There should be a guy close, somewhat prone.
Getting close on you guys' bridge.
Careful. Over here now.
Yep.
2 on that rock. Ghost.
I have no nades. I have no nades.
Anybody made Luke nade?
No nades. This is the double kill with
nade.
No nades.
No nades. No nades. Oh, I do have a nade.
Get over here.
Tag one twice.
Okay.
Coming up with the bike.
There should be 2 guys to the right.
I'm over to you. Good. Got me.
Getting nade from the right. People watch low key. People watch low key.
Go nade the rock. 1 nade. Make it count.
I'm watching low key. I'm watching low key.
Give me the nade if you don't know there. The left on the rock. Yep.
If you nade the tree in my marker, you get a kill.
You nade the rock. Push low key. Slow peek, save. Slow peek.
One at the rock. I'm in the tree, sir.
Maybe prone post. Finish check. Prone right. Dead. That's tempo. Last guy.
At the tree.
Headshot it.
Okay, I'm pushing right.
Picking right. Hit it, Aslo. Good game.
Bottom left.
Let's go.
Calling good game before the game was even done, but Lazarus secured themselves another win, 10 kills, and a well-played round by them.
Yeah, I mean, really impressive. I love the proactive move onto United, smoking off the north side of Alamo, getting down there. Taylor J with a nice nade out, but, you know, Lazarus just